this has been in the clamps overnight while I was messing around with the CNC, so it's almost certainly dry. Pop off the Z-clamps. Clamps away. If I don't put them away now, I won't put them away. I know me. One complete drawer slide shelf thing, slider. That was that. Okay. Well, I'll pull this drawer out again just to play some fitting. I suspect we're going to need to slide it around a little bit anyway. Let's see, how'd you do? Not too bad. Not too badly. So it's all around narrower than I need it, so that's good. This is the front side. And there's a little bit of... I need to grab, I don't know what I want to use. We'll just use the plane. Dave's Awesome Plane makes another appearance. Just taking a tiny little bit. There was some glue squeeze out there. It's a little bit snug. So what I'll do, looks like it is mostly snug in that same spot. I had a little bit of a swelling up in there. Not the greatest work holding, but it's doing all right. Here. We'll do this better. Right end in? Yeah. There we go. I'm just shrinking this drawer up just a tiny bit. And we'll come back the other way so we don't blow out too badly. Do the same to this end. Basically just knocking it back a little bit. Don't need to do that much. It's not that critical. It's not a huge thing. Do the same on the other side and then have a nice little slidey drawer, slidey shelf thing. Just catching some of that end grain. That should already make a nice slidey. Nice. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. I think I might want to... Well, that's fine, actually. No, that's fine. Okay, so then the next thing I will do is catch these edges so that they're not super splinter inspiring. No finish. This is pretty much the shelf is done. Doing the same on these sides because these are the handy holds I will be grabbing onto. Pretty sure I just built me a trapezoid, but we'll find out here in a second. A test is whether I can put it in backwards or not. Easy. So this way. Should be okay this direction too. Pretty good. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So that's 2-tier storage for files. Chisels will go here. File crap that I don't really care too much about will go down in there. Yeah, this thing is bi-directional. Yep, alright. I'm gonna do another quick sandy sand on this side. And that'll do. Perfect. Sneezy sneeze. Okay. That means I can start putting shit in here. So let's slip in the drawer. Close that. Down there. Now, what I want to do is make a couple of little locking points so that it doesn't fall forward like this and cover up my chisels. So what I figure I'll do, got some 1/8" brass. I'll drill a little 1/8" hole. Maybe not. Maybe I'll do it into the wall. I have to decide what I'm doing there. I think yeah, I'm not sure yet. I think sliding is I'm just working out how to lock, how to, you know, just retain it. It doesn't need to be locked. It just needs to be dissuaded from sliding forward. I think we'll just throw an 1/8" drill bit into my drill, which is hiding. I think it's in the house, actually. Cool. Okay, we'll go get that. We'll be back. Alright, so I've got this idea that I'm going to try and see if it works. I'm going to throw a couple of pins in these area here somewhere, and a couple of holes in the bottom of the front drawer with a slide thing. So there's going to be a little brass pin on either end that it'll sort of hook into. So I'm going to just for a real quick and dirty sort of where to put the holes, just put a little tick mark with my awl here. Do the same on this side. Yeah, that'll work. Like so, and then we drill. Do a real small drill, real shallow. You don't want it super deep here, because I want it to stick up just a tiny bit. So that's not quite there yet. Go just a hair. Yeah, that should leave up just enough. It ought to leave up just enough. We'll drive these in. We'll use them as our marking points too. Just like that. No, we need to be deeper than that actually. Okay, so I have to pull that out. It's a little snug. I'll be right back. Grabbed a pair of pliers here real quick. There we go. Try not to ding up the brass too badly here. Catch a depth measurement. I just want it to stick up about maybe an eighth, if that. Less than an eighth would be good. I think that's all right. This isn't a high strength situation. This is just a locator, so it doesn't need to be. That's perfect. That is perfect. There we go. A little bit. So now you'll see when it's in, it's still free to slide. It actually catch there just a bit. So when we come over here and it's closed, press just a tiny bit, and that should mark where I need to drill on these sides, and I'm going to drill these a tiny bit oversized with a 9/64 drill. As soon as I find where I put the 9/64 drill. I need to grab my bits. Now that side, here we go, a 9/64. So it'll slide into this hole without any trouble at all. And it's way deep enough so it won't grab it, hopefully. Now, if I did this right, and I'll do it on both sides too, when the drawer goes in, I can lift just a tiny bit. And it's a little bit, that's not quite free enough. So I'm just going to make the holes bigger. And do the same here. Because these are really just real quick, short index stops. Bonk. There. With the right amount of weight in it, that ain't going anywhere. Okay? Now we'll flip it around and mark the exact same hole locations on this side, so that if I ever flipped it around, I'd be able to flip the drawer around just fine. Probably could have done this with like a 3/16. Now it should work in the reverse position as well. Yeah, that'll do. That keeps it from... The idea is just to keep drawer sliding movement from causing it to... Yeah, that keeps all that. And if I just barely lift up on it, this side... It's that side. And that side seems okay. It's just a little sticky on that side. So I'm going to go widen this hole just a little bit further. That just makes it some more room. Yeah, that's much better. Then I just have to pick it up just a tiny bit. Yeah, that'll work beautifully. Okay, so let's get this drawer put where it goes. Well, yesterday's drama ended with me being pissed at my machine, but the problem is actually reasonably minor despite the mess that you see here. The Z-axis screw, basically the entire router hangs off the screw, which pulls on a bearing. That bearing is shot. The bearing was shitty, a sealed, cheap bearing. So I've ordered a new one that's sealed, not shielded. Did I say sealed? It was a cheap shielded bearing. I've ordered a sealed one for now. I could go through and redesign it so it has a little bit of a, so I could put a thrust bearing on it or something, but truth be told, it's not that critical. I got over 2 years of service out of the shielded bearing. I suspect I'll get even more out of a sealed one, and so I'll go with that. But anyway, I can't finish this piece yet until that comes, so I've got a new one on order. It should be here a couple days, a few days. Get it installed. Thankfully the fix is very minor ultimately when it comes to the machine. It's the only maintenance problem I've had on this machine so far, so I can't really complain. Bearings are kind of a wear item, and the Z does a lot of work, and it's got a lot of weight hanging off it, so don't blame it too much. It's fine. So that is on its way. So until then, we have to go and find something else to keep me occupied. I don't know what that will be. Yeah, I have to figure out what to do next. So, okay, so it was a bearing. I remember I gave you some of that footage. The bearing was dead. I ordered a new one, and then I was walking around the shop really aimless, going, what am I going to do now? And it turns out I had an extra one of these bearings. So we're set back up. We've got our G-code loaded. We just need to zero my Z index, or my Z axis here, just a tiny bit. Do the usual slip. Looks like we hit it just right there. We're going to call that 0 because the depth of these holes are not critical. Call that Z0. Okay. We're set to wreck this thing. So I'm going to kind of babysit it a little while and make sure the damn thing doesn't go haywire on me again, but I think we're fine. The bearing that went in is an extra that I got because I ordered too short of a lead screw, so I just kept the bearing around. Yeah, so we're going to give this a go, and fingers crossed. Cool. Well, I'm relieved to see that the machine is back in full working order. So there's 1,300 holes. 1,328 I think it was. Nothing compared to what I got to do next, because I'm going to do the same thing for the file storage. But you can see that they're angled. They're on an angle. They're not straight up and down, which means they're not all in the same location. So I can, within I think it's 16 thous between these two or something like that. I think there's like maybe even 26 thou, something like a 32nd of an inch or so, around a 32nd of an inch or less of variation between each hole distance, so I can use that to set a pin where I want it. So this one's done. I'm going to cut this out on the bandsaw. Now I want to do the same thing for my files. Okay, so we've got all our boards cut out. We've got all our brass prepared. It's time to assemble this into its place in the drawer. So I've just thrown some double stick tape. Ignore these. These are from the oh, hey, wait, hold on. We got to give you guys a view, don't we? Hang on. Drawer. That's what's going on. Drawer. And so we'll take this piece and just slip it on in here. And it's just a tight fit. There we go. And the double stick tape will keep it in place. Do the same for my drawer. This one I'll put in about the middle somewhere. Just enough to keep it stick. Setting these corners in place is all. Make sure the double stick tape has something to grab. Okay, there's that. And now we take a crap ton of brass. So here's the plan. Got a chisel. I put it in place. I find the nearest hole that takes a brass pin. You guys up there can't see it yet, but you will. I'm gonna put my next chisel in place right near it, and it looks like it needs its own hole, its own peg. So we'll put that there, and this keeps everything sort of aligned, everything in its place without too much wiggling around, see? Or so that's my intention anyway. And put the second one in place. Okay, now we're definitely in need of individual. And then we'll put more. That one's got a fair bit of wiggling a bit, but we'll see if this doesn't. This may or may not work. So now put one here, get one here, put one here, more brass. Yeah, this is going to use up a little bit brass stuff. This may or may not be brilliant. This may just be what was I thinking? But so far I'm digging what I've got. Yeah, this is a little weird for these little ones. I've run out of the brass, but these little ones can just sort of mingle a little bit here, I think. Or they can just sit in here under. They could just go under without too much destruction risk. Yeah, that'll be fine right there. There, chisels, files. Storage solved. Now, when things change, all I gotta do is make up some more of this brass stuff, which won't take much. Pretty easy to do that. Probably make a few more anyways, but there. That's pretty nice and organized, I think. It looks nice. And grabbing a chisel, easy. Putting it back, pretty easy. Not too bad. I think that'll work. It'll make it open for expansion later. Cool. The big thing is that I am not risking my files any longer. That one needs one right there. We're going to put you there, and I'm going to move you to somewhere a bit safer. Not sure if there's a good spot for this one then. I'm going to grab some, I'll just make up a couple more brass pieces, and then that one will have a home as well. But take this one out. Risk is incredibly low, which is cool. And if I don't go crazy, that one is fine too. So there you go. Chisel and file storage.